Hey, this is ArcDev. I want to introduce you to a new system that we're rolling out through MetaFab. The system's called Ecosystems, and it's something we think is going to be pretty cool across a bunch of different games being built on top of MetaFab, as well as new games coming into our services. So the idea with Ecosystems extends beyond what we already offer through MetaFab. So right now with MetaFab, if you develop an individual game, you can make frictionless onboarding flows for players, use all these different baseline systems that we have for game currencies, crafting loot boxes, pretty much any type of game interaction. And just use one vertically integrated service so that you don't have to use 3, 4, 5 different specific crypto services to build your game, and everything just works together very seamlessly, very fast, very easily. One of the needs that we've found across our existing customers is the ability to have games very easily interoperate between one another on the player side. So what this means is that if I'm a player and let's say that 2 or 3 or more different games maybe share a standard ERC20 game currency across each other, such that it makes sense for a player to be able to have, a singular account that they can play all of these games through in a way where there's much simpler permissioning for the players, and it's a lot easier for players to understand what assets that they may be giving a game access to, rather than confusing MetaMask pop-ups or things that, a regular gamer who's never dealt with wallet just wouldn't understand. So what ecosystems allow you to do is if you are, let's say, a game marketplace or a DAO with many games under it or a gaming guild or something along those lines, and you have a bunch of different games that are within your organizational structure or your ecosystem, you can create a single sign-on flow where your players across games in your ecosystem have one single account that their wallet is connected to, or by default, if they don't have a connected wallet, they just have a managed wallet issued. And then that way, all of the game assets that they have, all of the game assets they earn across games, soulbound things such as achievements, rank, XP, all of that is earned at this ecosystem profile level rather than an individual game account where they would have to have a game account across each game, which in many cases doesn't make sense for systems like this. So we'll go through a quick little example. One of these examples here is you can see a mock-up for the Treasure ecosystem. So Treasure is a great platform that uses a singular currency called Magic across many games or cartridges within their ecosystem that you can play. For Treasure, there's a big value add for the ability for players to have a single Treasure account where all of their assets across the games they play are stored, their achievements, their XP, all sorts of different things. But they can use that singular Treasure account to sign into all of the games they play. And this little image here is an example mock-up of what using MetaFab's ecosystem product allows Treasure to do. So as a Treasure game, I can enable a sign in with Treasure type button on my game, go through a standard set of secure single sign-on flows where I can allow my players to sign into their Treasure account. And they can even go a step ahead, and they can, for example, on this screen, permission exactly what assets my game has the ability to frictionlessly operate on top of for their profile account. If I need to trigger them to spend magic for things in game, if I need to trigger them to buy items, based on their actions without them having to ever deal with transactions, such their experience feels just like a standard traditional game while they still own all of their content, their assets, things like that. I can do this. And it allows for new and existing games that are built on top of MetaFab or coming into the MetaFab ecosystem to integrate all of this without having to do any additional complicated logic beyond what they may have already integrated for just standard player accounts for their games using MetaFab. And we think this is going to enable a lot of really cool functionality, a lot of really cool ecosystems across many different chains. Treasure is just one such ecosystem that we're excited about, but I can see this being used for many game marketplaces. I can see large businesses being built on top of this model. And yeah, it's just a high level of what we're building with ecosystems. The docs are live. We'll share that as well. You can find a link probably in the tweet that this video is attached to. And thanks for watching.